my lovely Libra, and welcome to your monthly reading for the month of May. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, please do check out your love bonus and your moon reading if you haven't had a chance to do so. However, if you enjoy this reading, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff. It does help my channel grow. I'd greatly appreciate it. And it does help it get to our other Libras, which is pretty important, right? So let's go ahead and get started. What we are going to do is a past, present, future spread. Do keep in mind that time is fluid in tarot and gender is neutral. So let's go ahead and get started for you, shall we? All right. So what we have here is we have the Emperor in reverse and we have the Eight of Pentacles, okay? So I feel like for some of you, you are really feeling like you are just up against it, okay? I feel like you are normally the very stable, very solid, very pragmatic, logical person in your household, family, whatever, okay? That you're the one that can always be counted on to be kind of the steady. But for whatever reason, I feel like right now you've kind of just, you feel like you're off, right? Something is off for you. And I feel like it's definitely got something to do with, you know, your work. Either, you know, maybe you've been laid off, maybe you've been let go, maybe you've been ill or injured or something where you've had to miss some work. Maybe for some reason there's something about it that you're just not feeling like you want to go to work. You hate it there, or something is not, it's a toxic work environment all of a sudden or something, or but I feel like for some reason you're just not, things just aren't panning out there for you. So you know, it feels like you're up against it, because I feel like with this Eight of Pentacles, it's kind of like, you know, you feel like you are constantly, you know, beating your head against a wall, taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, you know, and I feel like maybe part of it is too that you don't feel, you know, you feel overworked and underpaid, underappreciated, all of those kinds of things. And it may be that you were promised some things that you didn't get. Perhaps like you were promised a raise this year, or a promotion, or a bonus, or something like that. And then maybe you were passed over, or you were, you know, kind of nepotism took over and somebody else was given something that you should have been given, or that you very much earned and somebody who really didn't deserve it got it. I'm getting that kind of vibe where you were just kind of screwed over, to be honest with you. So I feel like you're very much kind of almost bitter about it, which I wouldn't blame you. And so it's making that kind of almost like it's so laborious for you to even get up and go into your work or do your work right now and be around it. Let's get another one on here. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Again, you do not want to be around these people. You are not feeling comfortable around working with these people. You don't want to be around these people. I just feel like, you know, there's some shenanigans going on there. They may have either done you wrong. They may have, you know, maybe they're mistreating you at work as far as like hostile work environment type stuff. They're not giving you your due diligence as far as, you know, your just desserts for all the stuff you do. They may be taking the credit for your work. They may be piling everybody's work on you. You know, if it's a team collective, you're doing everybody's work and they're all taking the credit. Something like that I feel like is really going on, and it's really making you feel like you either need to like just quit your job, which is so out of character for you. That's something that you would never think to do, because you're typically this Emperor, you know, energy, but you've just flipped, right? You're just like, I'm flipping a switch, because this is just so, it's like that's out of character for you. You're usually so just pragmatic and just, you know, whatever, don't worry about it, things will smooth over, everything will be fine. You know, you're very much that kind of person. But this time, you know, you're a Libra. You're like, you know, everything will balance out, everything will be just, everything will be okay, you know. But this time you're like, it's too much, right? They pushed it too far this time. And I feel like that's just to say that, right? I feel like they really are. You're being, you know, taken advantage of. And you know, for whatever reason, I feel like you just really don't want to go there. So the question is, what are you going to do? What's going to happen here? So let's go forward and let's see, right? Okay, that's the best thing we can do. So, okay, 8 of Cups, you're walking away, number one. So I feel like with that, a couple of things. That could be you either just walking away from these work people, meaning that, let's say if you work for a large company, you may ask for like a lateral shift, something like that, to a whole other division, department, those kinds of things. If it's a company that has other, you know, places, offices, you may even ask for that kind of thing. Like, I don't even want to be in the same office. If not, that may be you actually even leaving the company, leaving the business, and you may have been there a very long time, but that's making it even worse for you because you feel like, I've put so much into this company. I've been loyal to them, and they're being completely not loyal to me. They are like basic backstabbing type of situation, you feel like. So I do feel like you're leaving this. And I see a Page of Cups here too. So I do feel like you're dealing with some really immature type of people. You know, I feel like you're dealing with some people at work that are, you know, again, I don't know why I'm saying this, and I don't know why this is coming into me, but I feel like it's somewhat of like a nepotism type situation, or, you know, a best friendy type situation. Somebody's buddy came in, and now all of a sudden, you know, this person, because they're such and such as best bud, or this one's best friend, or that one's son, or, you know, something in that type of circle, you know, not what, you know, but who, you know, situation is coming up. And it's like, well, yeah, they're straight in with zero experience and zero whatever, but they're getting the promotions, they're getting all the bonuses, they're getting all the raises, they're getting all the credit, and you're doing all the work. And you've been there with years of experience, and you've been there putting in the time and the hours and all of this and all that. And, you know, this younger, immature person is coming in here, and they're really the cause of all this drama. Okay. And I just really feel like that's something that's the situation here. But let's see. So heartbreak. Okay. And for me, I do feel like, you know, this again is like more in the line for the way I'm seeing this and the way I'm feeling about this. This isn't as much heartbreak in a manner of like a relationship heartbreak. I'm feeling like your heart is broken in that because you are a very pragmatic, you're a very stable, very logistical type of person, that your heart is broken and that you feel betrayed. You feel stabbed in the back. You feel like you've poured your heart and soul into this job, this business, this office, this group, these people, you know, all of this, and they've really kind of just done you wrong. And so you feel like you're really being, you know, hurt, broken. And the fact that you will have to leave these people, or that's the only way you're going to be able to get ahead, is to actually have to leave, and that they would let you potentially leave rather than recognize you for your talents and accept that you deserve more, is absolutely gut-wrenching to you, I feel like. So, I mean, I can absolutely, let me get another one on here. Yeah, Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's just, this is you. I feel like this is, you know, this is your energy again. You are, you know, you have opportunities. I feel like you have opportunities, but you don't want to use these opportunities. I feel like you're kind of broken. I feel like this is something that has seriously kind of taken you aback. Number one, you did not really feel like this would ever happen to you here. You've always considered these people to be like family or friends. You've poured your soul into it. And I feel like this is you. And that Wands, that Queen of Wands situation, it's like you have opportunities coming in, right? You can get opportunities. You've got experience. You've got talent. You've got, you know, the skill set, the knowledge, all of this stuff to go anywhere and do anything you really want. As far as, you know, logistically speaking with the job, right? That's not an issue. I don't see that as an issue. But the thing is that you don't really want to have to use that. I feel like you want to restrain that. You don't want to have to use that. You want these people to recognize you for your talent and recognize that you are as important, not just for your talent and what you can do for work, but as a person, because you really consider these people more than just coworkers. They've been friends, you know, they've been, you know, you've been with these people forever, day in, day out, you know, or for a while or a long time, or however it sits, but not, you know, you expected more. Let's just put it that way. Okay. So let's see, going into the future here, or, you know, what's coming as far as that goes, what we see. And again, depending on where you are in this process, if you feel like you're still feeling this heartbreak and this I don't want to leave yet kind of situation, or if you have left, or if you've got recognition, you know, depending on where you are in the process, it'll kind of tell you the timeline, because again, timeline is fluid in tarot. So your next card is the Nine of Swords in reverse. So I do feel like that is where you're starting to feel a little bit less stressed about things. You're starting to feel a little bit better about things. Okay. So I feel like that's where you kind of start making peace with things. You know, again, I realize that this Queen of Wands situation is where I think you are getting opportunities. The reason that I feel like this is in reverse is because as a queen, okay, you can decide anything you want to do, really. And again, that's gender neutral, so male or female, doesn't matter. But in that position of the hierarchy, you can really decide just about anything you want to do, okay? But you don't want to make those decisions. You want them to want you to stay. You don't want to have to, wave your magic wand of opportunity and leave here. So, but I feel like at this point, the fact that they haven't really done anything yet, they've really kind of broken your heart. This Page of Cups is really kind of on the scene, getting kind of in the mix and really, being the center of attention. I feel like you are kind of starting to realize that you're going to have to, use some of those opportunities and just do what you have to do, right? And I think you kind of knew that up here when you were like, you have to leave, this Eight of Cups. I think you were just hopeful that things would change. And then Page of Cups, heartbreak, right? And then the opportunities come in and you're still kind of lingering. I don't really want to do this because I really want them to say, no, wait, don't. You're giving them every chance, right? You wanted to give them every chance, but I think eventually you kind of say, no, enough's enough. If you don't see me for the value that I am, I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to go. And it's not going to be any skin off my nose because I can go somewhere else for people who will appreciate me more, and I can make more money and do better. And I don't have to deal with this, this childish nonsense. And that's really what it is. If you're, letting somebody come in who is just because of who they know or whatever, take a place over somebody who's super qualified and done their time, then, really that's not really something you want to really invest yourself in anymore anyway, is it? So I think that's where you kind of are here with this Nine of Swords in reverse. I think you're kind of starting to make peace with that. I think you're really moving forward with that. And the next card is the Page of Wands. So I feel like that's just those opportunities that are continuing to evolve for you. So I feel like, you're flush with opportunities. And of course you would be, you have that, you have the history, you have the talent, you have the skill set, you have the experience. I don't see that as being a problem. Let's get some more here. Okay. Five of Wands in reverse. Okay. And that is telling me that when that opportunity comes in, that this Page of Wands is going to bring into you the specific one that I feel like you're going to choose or enjoy. I feel like that's going to be a smoothing over for you. So I feel like it's almost kind of in a way going to be your justice for you, because you're going to not have that friction that you had at the, the last place. It's not going to have that feeling of, I'm getting passed over. I feel like it's going to be an opportunity where, you actually get rewarded on your merit for who you are and what you do, not who you know, those kinds of things. And I feel like that is going to be, a lot smoother place for you to be, a lot happier place for you to be. And I really feel like you're going to enjoy it a lot more. And that's kind of like this is kind of like your peace with that. It's kind of like you're making peace and then you're getting peace from it. So let's see what else we got here. The Tower in reverse, and that's like a healing. That's like a rebuilding. Okay. So, the Tower coming down for you, unfortunately was like not, that was the heartbreak ultimately. and you still gave him a chance after that. You kind of hung around for a minute, I think. I still think you gave them an opportunity, hoping that they would say, no, don't go. We can't, we'll figure something out. We'll make a change, the decision change, something. I really think you wanted that to happen. But I think with this Tower in reverse, this is you saying, that job needed to go, because you know what? Had the next kid or cousin or friend or whomever come in behind them, I would have been passed over again. This would have kept happening. If that's how they run their company and that's how they make their choices and decisions, then that's what would have kept happening. They don't value me. They don't value merit. They don't value experience. They value, who they know or who's related to who or who's best friends with who. And that's never going to be me. I'm just there to be a hard worker. I thought I was a friend, but apparently, unless I'm a best friend or related or grew up together or whatever, in their group, whatever it was, their tribe, then I'm not in the ink crowd, right? So this is you healing. I feel like when you get in this new spot, this new position, this new opportunity, you've made peace with it. You've chose the new opportunity. You've found out that it's much better, smoother sailing for you there. And you start to heal, okay? You start to feel like, I am rebuilding a stronger, better me. And you actually are, okay? I think you're going to end up making more headway as far as positioning, finances, all of that in this new position. Let's get you a last one here, the Hermit, okay? And again, the Hermit card is one that he can stand alone, okay? It's not his position in the world is not based on who he knows or what he knows, right? He can stand alone, and that is what you do, right? So this is like you being successful as the Hermit, okay? But also the Hermit's biggest strength is he's just wise. He's older, wiser, knowledgeable, okay? And that's the whole situation here for you. You've been the older, wiser, more knowledgeable one, and you just were taken for granted here. But at this, they are loving your Hermit energy, right? They're loving that you're older, wiser, and you have knowledge, right? They love this. They love that. They don't care that you don't want to be their bestest friend in the whole world, that you're not, the life of the party. They don't care. They love that about you, because guess what? All they care about is that you're a great worker, that you know your stuff, all of those things that you really cared about, because you're a good, balanced worker, very much pragmatic, very much like, I go to work to actually work. That's what I'm there for. All of that, it's actually paying off for you. So it's like this job, this whole situation is perfect for you, right? And it took you coming out of this one, which kind of broke your heart, but it needed to happen. It's kind of like that tower needed to come down. But for you, the tower was really kind of the form of a heartbreak, because you feel like you were betrayed. But it does come in reverse. So it does come as a rebuilding better anyway. So for you, that's perfect. Now this is the psychic deck. So let's get 3 cards out of here, kind of elaborate on it a bit if we can. And it's a much more comfortable position for you, right? The Hermit is a more comfortable position for you to be in, because that's what you want to do. You don't want to have to schmooze and kiss people's behinds and know everybody's everything all the time just to, fit in with the in crowd, just to get somewhere. You want to be able to just do what you're supposed to do and be recognized for that. And so that's perfect, right? So you're a much happier person to go to work. It's not like over here where you're like just feeling kind of miserable about it. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, so we've got victory and success. And I feel like right here, this is where, you feel like you need to get out of this situation here. You're unhappy. You know that you deserve victory and success, but you're unhappy. You've always had work, victory, and success, right? You know that. And so for you, this is an odd feeling to not want to go to work, to not want to do these things, because you don't understand. You've been victorious. You've been successful at work. And I think that's why this is so confusing to you. You have that Emperor energy, and it's upside down here because you're like, this is bizarre. I am, I do everything I'm supposed to. My reviews are on fleek, perfect. everything perfect. I don't understand. I'm victorious and successful at work. Why am I so miserable because they're treating me like, I'm used and abused, And so that's kind of a real conundrum for you. And I think that's part of why it's hard to take. Deception and envy. And this is what this whole row is about. It's about that Page of Cups coming in. It's about that, that best friendism, nepotism, all of that type of different isms that they come in and, if you're not part of their crowd, their in crowd or their family members or whatever, they don't really care about everything else that you bring to the table. It seems like that doesn't really matter to them. And so they really do kind of screw you over. That's really what this whole row is about, really. And you give them multiple chances. I mean, you even hold out past your heartbreak, past them bringing in this, Page of Cups, young, obnoxious, immature type person who probably gets the job that you wanted and the raise you wanted and the bonus you wanted and all these things. And, they do all this to you and you still kind of hang tight for a second. But your last card here is balance. And this is perfect because this is restoring the balance, right? This is where you restore your balance. This is where you finally make peace with it. Okay? This is where you decide to take a new opportunity and just start over. This is where you start to heal by rebuilding that tower. This is where you start to balance the scales by putting all these tools back to work that you have, okay? And putting them back to work in a way that you know how to use them, which is properly for a work environment, right? Not schmoozing, not being related to somebody, but for work purposes in a hermit way. And they're getting you the rewards that you should get, right? Imagine that, a merit-based system, a nice balanced merit-based system. So you're putting things back into balance and you're much happier about that because that's the kind of person you are. You're a balanced person. You expect if you work hard, you are rewarded, okay? Not if you are related to somebody and don't come in off the street, you get rewarded. And if you've worked your butt off for years, you get nothing, right? Doesn't work for you, right? So I feel like this is where you get your balance back and you feel much, much better. You're going to be much happier. So let's get these moon cards here and we'll pull 3 out of that and we'll close you out here, okay? All right, my lovely Libras. And balance, I think, is probably your happiest card ever because you are all about balance, right? So let's go ahead and see what we've got for you here in this. All right, so resilience. And I feel like this is something that you feel like this is all you're doing every day is having to be resilient enough to get up and go back to work. I really feel like this at the beginning. This is what you feel like. You feel like I'm showing my resilience by showing up at this point. That's how I feel about it. It's almost become an unpleasant, hostile work environment. Even though I'm great at my job, even though I loved it there, even though I've worked with these people forever, now I'm so kind of upset or bitter or feel like I've been done wrong and it's painful almost to even go in there. I'm a resilient person and I'm going to keep doing what I do until I feel like enough's enough, and then I will make a decision to fix it, right? So I think that's what happens here because your next card is resistance, and that is exactly what happens here. This up here is you kind of move away from it in a way that maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to kind of distance myself from this. These are opportunities I can look towards. You may start putting ideas out there, thoughts out there, applications out there. With this 8 of Cups, I do think that that's something that maybe you start doing, like I said, because that's where I do feel like you start getting these opportunities coming in, because I do feel like you put feelers out, but you still hope that you won't have to use them, right? And then again, here comes that Page of Cups. Here comes that heartbreak when that Page of Cups gets everything you deserve to get. And then the Queen of Wands in reverse. I feel like you are strong and you're getting those opportunities that maybe you were just hoping would be, backups that you'd never have to use, and you still don't want to use them. You're resisting using them in everything you can. But eventually, this is kind of twofold because you're resisting using them. But at the same time, eventually, by the end of this row, which is the present, you resist this whole job in general. Okay? You realize that this is just too much. It's not going to be good for you. You realize that if this is what they value, then you don't want to be part of it, and you're resisting this idea of a work environment as acceptable for you, okay? And you're ready to make peace with that and move forward with something better. And it's funny because the card here for this row is peace. And I think that's exactly what's happening. You're making peace with that, with the Nine of Swords in reverse. You know, you're letting all that stresses, anxiety, stuff that's keeping you up at night, you're letting it go. You're making peace with all of this. You're taking in one of those new opportunities that the Page of Wands is going to bring in that you didn't want to have to use, but now you're fine with using it because you've just accepted that something better is out there for you. It is. That tower's being rebuilt. That tower's being rebuilt stronger. You're being rebalanced in a way that is putting everything back in a perspective that you understand, you can work with, the confines that make sense to you, and it's making a much better, happier, more acceptable, more balanced work environment for you that you now again enjoy going to. You enjoy trying to build your way up in. You're excited about because you feel like, hey, now I can actually, you know, live the dream where I can actually get out what I put in. You know, if I work hard, I can actually make things happen. You know, it's not just like I could work my brains out and still get nothing. You know, I can actually, you know, if I work really hard, I can really make things happen. You know, I can, you know, make everything will balance out, you know, and this is peace to you. That's peace. Balance is peace and harmony and joy and all that. And you love that. You love it. And you love being the hermit. You love being the one who has all the knowledge and quietly makes things happen and doesn't have to have connections and contacts and all this schmoozing and tomfoolery and fakeness and all that just to, you know, get recognition. You're fine with being recognition or recognized for your merits and, you know, the laurels that you deserve, right? So I feel like this is your balance and your peace. This is your justice. So I think this is going to work out beautifully for you in the end. I do think it is a little bit sad that you will have to possibly go through some feeling of letdown, hurt, heartbreak, you know, feeling that they did you that way. But, you know, it's better to find out now than waste more time on a company or a position or a job or whatever that may do you that way, even after more years, when you could be spending that time on a company that's going to really allow you to sky's the limit kind of grow. So anyway, I hope this does resonate with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff. Otherwise, I hope to see you back for your weekly reading. Bye.